Hi and welcome to another video here on my channel Morbid History. I was gonna do a folklore video, but we're gonna have to wait on that a little while more. Today we have another true crime instead. I hope that's fine. I do have like 2 folklore videos that I'm going to make this weekend and next week. So stay tuned for that, and let's get straight into this one. Thanks for being here. We begin this video in 1865. In a cemetery in the middle of Sweden, near Karlstad, they were digging up the grave of a Mr. Lysén. His family did not believe that he had died of natural causes. When they finally dug him up and took a toxicology report, they soon discovered that he had indeed died of arsenic poisoning. What had led to this? The story begins in the very early years of the 1800s, 1803 to be exact. A man named Anders Lindbeck was born on the 22nd of December, 1803. He was born to a very poor family, and he was bullied a lot in school. He was, for example, called Skink-Anders. Skinka means ham in Swedish, and that was because his dad had been caught trying to steal a piece of ham. His parents died fairly young, but his uncle had realized the potential, that he was indeed pretty smart under the circumstances, so he paid for an education in which Anders excelled. Getting a bit older, he then decided that he wanted to study to become a priest, which he did and soon became a parish assistant. During this time, he was a lodger at a large farmhouse, where he met a young girl named Joanna. She quickly fell in love with a very charismatic man. He was known for having a few mistresses and even maybe a illegitimate child. But he did not reciprocate Joanna's feelings to the extent that she wanted. He instead married a few years older Fredrika, and they got 2 sons. The daughter, Joanna, who lived at the farm where he used to be a lodger, did not forget about Anders. When her father died, she sold the big farm to Anders and Fredrika under the conditions that she would be able to live there for the rest of her life too. And soon rumors sparked that he was living there with his wife and a mistress. The farm was going very well, and they soon became fairly rich, and you could say that Anders really made a class. He transcended in class. He became one of the richest people in the neighborhood. And life just continued getting better and better for Anders. In 1961, he took the position as a vicar at a parish called Silbodal. The problem was that Silbodal had a lot of poor people living in it. Anders tried his utmost to make it into a perfect community. He was essentially the police and mayor all in one. As the vicar, he was the closest to God that these people would ever come close to. They looked up to him, and at first he did seem like he cared a lot. He gave them food, clothing, and even started a library where they could borrow not only religious books but other kind of literature. It almost feels like he was trying to make it into a perfect parish, a perfect utopia. And since there were around 40 impoverished people in this parish, it meant that Anders did not get the pay he wanted as a vicar, because a lot of the money that came into the church had to be dealt out in handouts to the poor. So Anders decided that the poor were costing him and the community too much money. So he came up with the brilliant plan to reduce these costs by poisoning the culprits. In 1864, he started his plan. He went out to the poorest people living in their small cottages that could not get out of bed because they were both sick and poor. He went out there in the guise of giving them the communion at home. Once there, he would put arsenic into their communion wine, talk to them about death, and just wait. People were starting to get very sick and ill every time he was visiting. But since they were already poor and led a hard life, people weren't really paying enough attention to it. In autumn of 1864, a woman called Karin passed away. Not long after, a man named Nils also passed away, after drinking the communion wine and having a visit from this priest. There were also a lot of people who got extremely ill, but they pulled through. One of these people was Karin's son, Daniel. He was actually poisoned 5 times, but he survived all of them. He would later become a witness. Then what put a stop to his great master plan? Well, his childhood friend, Mr. Lysén, came to visit. He was pretty rich and old, but he was in great health, everyone said. He just wanted to come and visit and spend his days out in the countryside relaxing. He borrowed 10,000 kronor to the priest, Anders Lindbäck. And after a few days in the household living with Anders, he also became very ill. He started vomiting, and there was a stench coming off of him until Anders' wife, Fredrika, finally found him dead. Anders, the priest, wasted no time. As soon as the coroners wrote that the cause of death was natural and sickness, he went ahead and had a funeral and a burial the day after, without even contacting Mr. Lysén's family. People found this strange since he had the contact information to his family, and that's where the trouble for him started. Mr. Lysén's family found it all very odd, very strange, and contacted the police. And luckily, they went ahead and dug up Mr. Lysén's body and found out that he was poisoned by arsenic. This started an entire investigation into something that had only been a conspiracy among the people living there. They dug up a few more bodies, exemplary those of Karin and Nils, and found out that they too had been poisoned. The priest was taken to Tingshuset in Silbodal, where he after a while confessed. He told them that it was mercy killings. He just wanted them to get faster to God, that they were sick and that they were suffering. And he held on to that until he died. Of course, he was sentenced to death. But that justice did not come. He hanged himself in Karlstad's prison before he could be executed. So, what do you think? Did he do it as a sign of mercy for these suffering poor people? Or did he just want to seem like the most perfect vicar in a perfect parish? Let me know down below. So that was that story of the first serial killer in Swedish recorded history, at least. Like I said, I have a few fun videos and ideas that I'm gonna go through soon. So at least 2 or 3 videos I have planned for you. And yeah. Thank you all for being here. Please like, comment, subscribe. I really want to grow as a channel, and I will soon be starting to stream on Twitch again. So if you want to go and follow me over there, my link is in my link tree that you can find here on my channel profile. Thanks again, you're all the best, and lots of love to you. Bye bye!